And yes, welcome to the show. My name is Alfonso Santaniello, and we are here with second-time guest, first-time roundtable.
Yes.
Karrie Welch of Fortunate Face Minerals. I'm a little excited. I know you're. Well, you're a funny person, so I'm excited to see what you're going to bring to the table.
All right. Oh crap! Now I got to live up to that.
No worries. I would like to say hi to Sailor Cori.
Yes, aye. It's not the first time I've been a sailor on the show.
No, I think it was the pterodactyl episode.
That was like our first year of filming.
Oh, the memories.
It's
cute. Bringing it back.
And
There are anchors actually on there too.
yeah, and I'm a Smurf today apparently. So welcome to the show. So we have some good topics today. First up, Mohegun Sun Casino signs pact with 7 Massachusetts venues, including Springfield Symphony Hall. They reached an agreement to protect their interests if a casino entertainment complex is built in Revere. So basically, if they get the complex in Revere, they can farm out to other venues in Mass, within Massachusetts for entertainment purposes. Great, but what if MGM does get Springfield? Then their relationship with Symphony Hall, City Stage, Mass Mutual Center, things like that could be jeopardized because if they're partnered with
Mohegun Sun.
Mohegun Sun, which originally wanted Palmer. So I mean, I feel like there's a lot of drama that's going to happen. I actually think no matter what, Symphony still did the right decision because they got to think of now and what's going to work for them. Even though they didn't get Revere, no one knows.
Right, no one knows yet because no one's
there's
gotten any licenses yet. So this is all up in the air.
I'm like living in the dark.
So Mohegun obviously didn't get Palmer, so they moved into Revere lot. That also there was another casino that was going into the lot, but they got rejected.
Okay.
So now MGM brought in Mohegun. These damn casinos.
Right.
Mohegun brought in another proposal for the same spot, but so they're going through the process.
And I understand, like they did the Wank Theater, that's out in Boston. Like I get having the symbiotic relationship with places that are closer to where they're going to be, but it is a little odd that they would bring it specifically to Symphony Hall, knowing, like you said, that MGM has already applied for a license here, and.
So they're saying the partnership is the first of its kind in the nation between a resort casino and a major nonprofit performing arts center, of the City Performing Arts Center, which is, I believe, in Boston.
Yeah.
So this is, I understand why people are signing on because you don't know what casino's going in just yet. It doesn't matter, it looks promising, but until they hit ground.
Right.
You don't know.
And then there's that option in there. Did you see the clause that it was talking about where they booked a major, like an artist, that they wouldn't rebook them without allowing those venues to have the option to book them first?
Yeah.
So I thought
Is there additional money involved too? Is there something that they're getting?
Well, like right now, for example, Mohegun and Foxwoods, if an artist, say like Jay-Z goes and plays in Mohegun, he, within a certain radius, is not allowed to play at another venue that includes Foxwoods, and vice versa. So if an artist plays at Foxwoods, they sign a contract, which most of them do regardless, like anytime you play at the venue, you sign a contract. But in the contract, it's not an optional thing. They just can't play.
Right. It's like a non-compete clause kind of thing. And it's worth, it's huge money. Those concerts are bringing in
not just people who go to the concert. Yeah, not just the concert, but
restaurants, everything.
The stay
and
the casino itself. Like I'm related to a lot of degenerates. Like it happens. Like
wait a minute, related to?
Yeah. No. Sometimes I am one of them, so I know that. It's all right. Next up, the cost of St. Patrick's Day in Amherst St. Patrick's Day Amherst Blowout was $200,000. So the celebration is out of control. Obviously, everyone knows what's going on. I mean, if you don't know, get out of under the rock you're living under. But it cost more than $200,000 for public safety, consultant fees, and property damage in Amherst. Overtime and pepper spray alone cost taxpayers $23,000. How much pepper spray does? That's a lot of burned eyeballs. So police arrested 65 people and 141 were charged. So does that mean people were multiply charged?
I don't know.
And what?
I saw that a lot of the people weren't even from UMass.
No,
that were charged
60%. So it's funny that there's UMass. I mean, yes, UMass is a party school, but 60% of the people that got arrested were not even UMass students.
Right.
So what is their contingency plan? They don't have one. They're just stating this as a.
They're just stating it as a fact. Like
I'm sure this school's being built. This is what the school's probably being built, and they're probably going to then.
I mean, you're looking at Amherst as trying to.
They're recouping it in court, I would assume.
Well, they're also looking at this happened, like how are they going to make sure it doesn't happen again?
My niece goes to school there, and what she said through my sister-in-law, she's like, it was snowball fights. Like, people were just having snowball fights. However, I'm seeing the clips on TV, and I'm seeing a lot of beer bottles, and and when you throw alcohol into a mix like that, sure, I'm sure a lot of the kids, it was good-natured, it was fun, it wasn't.
But how many of the arrests were because they were drinking underage? Not necessarily they were doing anything. You know what I mean? How many? Because if you drink underage, you're technically getting arrested.
Right.
Pretty sure, just by, and I mean, I'm not an age doctor, if whatever that terminology is right, but looking at the people, a lot of them did look underage that were getting arrested, that were participating in it. I mean, granted, I feel like everyone at under 24 to me looks like they're all 18, but at the same time, so I mean, I'm assuming a lot of people that got arrested isn't because they're doing anything other than just drinking.
Well, and wasn't there some like resisting arrest, and some people were getting in their faces, and
I feel like that happens almost every college campus party. So UMass is nothing really special. I feel like again the media portrays things a little bit worse just to get some viewership stuff. But I'm gonna stop talking about the media so they don't kill me. Well, actually, one media to another. WWLP is under new ownership. So Media Garden buys WWLP from Lin Media. I don't know if it's Lin or Lin. See how much I know. So they're buying it for $1.6 billion in cash and in stock. They just recently announced it, which we were talking about this before the show. It's not really public knowledge.
Not heard anything about this at all.
So like they're going to cover like our station was just bought out, so I may not have a job tomorrow.
I know. We don't know what to make of it. Is it a positive impact or? How is it going to affect the local news?
So they offered $27.82 for the share, 80% of the premium. So they're really like buying out the whole.
Right.
They're not like trying to merge, they're really just.
And WWP isn't the only one. Didn't it say there were like 27 other stations? Like it was. They were buying out almost like a mass.
Yeah, so they weren't buying out WWLP. They were buying out the media company that owns WWLP. So that means they own a bunch of other stations as well.
Correct. Honestly, I mean, if that's the case and they're buying out a whole bunch of them, it's not like they're one business coming in to take it over, clean house, and start over. I mean, you know, in any buyout, there might be people that lose jobs here and there, but I have a feeling.
I feel like that happens a lot in Western Mass with anchors anyway. I feel like it's always like.
They move on. You have to move up to bigger markets. We're a small market for media, so when you want to raise or a promotion, you almost have to move to a different market. I mean,
which
gain experience.
Exactly.
And a lot of them are open to that. You know, they start here and they start small, and you start at your tier, and you continually move up to bigger.
Well, like locally, like Dave Mattson and Barry Krieger and all like the anchors that have been around, and they're kind of like the local. There are staples. The local celebrity.
They're
but like until they retire, you can't really.
Correct. There's no position to move into, and they have longevity. They've been around, and we love that because it's the familiar faces that we see all the time.
And it kind of almost goes back to like where we were talking about. Actually, when I see the older anchors, it brings me back to like real news.
Yes, like where you got to know them, love them, trust them.
Yes, I was just gonna say you almost trust what they're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, instead of like all the kind of the garbage that's going up, and not just in the local channels, national too, just everything that goes up. We want to see more. Like we were saying, positive news, not Well, and they have credibility, and also they live here. Yeah. They live here too. They raise their families here too. Right. I mean, I went to church with the weatherman from 22 from years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. Decades ago.
So they develop a relationship within the community. But I think that this company kind of is tapping into that because the community watches these local news stations all the time. They're doing their commercials on there and things like that. So there must be a little bit of a.
I mean, they got to be doing something successful if they're buying out other companies.
Absolutely.
Right.
So next up, Google Now to warn you of traffic accidents. So Google Now is an app that basically which I think is good. So basically, you're in a car, we'll just let you know if traffic is coming up. So there was Google bought this app called Waze. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
I have it on my phone.
I do too. I love it.
I do.
It's like a social platform for driving, pretty much. People will let you know when there's an accident, gas station pricing.
Everything.
Oh.
Cops, they let you know everything.
They'll let you know when cops are there.
People will just log in and basically post it on there, and then it will come up to you when you're on that driving route. Basically.
Yeah, so you just put in navigation like
it's all satellite. It's all by satellite. And yeah.
So Google bought them, obviously. I mean, Google buys anything that's cool.
And people love.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so they bought it for $1.1 billion. actually last year.
Good for Wix.
So Google Now is available on Android devices and will be available on Chrome. But basically, it's, I mean, either through, I don't have my phone on me, either through the Google app where you can voice search. It's not, they don't have a Siri, but you can search through your voice.
Right.
And it'll tell you. So, I mean, I think it's really cool, especially if you're utilizing Google when you're driving in directions, because now most of the people use their phones. There's no more in-dash navigation anymore.
Right.
And if you are an idiot like me, just don't spend $3,000 on it because it's a waste of money. So, I mean, I think this is a good idea, and I think we're going to go into, like, where, and as bad as it sounds, whatever that TV show is with the talking car, I feel like we're at Knight Rider.
Knight Rider.
Yes.
Kit, the talking car.
Yeah, I feel like
I just dated myself so badly.
But I
it's not
feel
even
like
funny. Seriously.
I feel like we're almost coming to a point where, like, Google's getting to the point where they're test driving their own car with self-driving car, computers driving a car.
I saw that.
They're
I
getting
that.
into, like, they're getting Apple itself, but I see this happening in the car.
You're
Cori.
popular.
I know. What is going on? Gus is calling you. That's what's going on.
It's an emergency.
Her dog's calling her, halving up along. Apple.
That's true. I think that we're getting to this point sooner than we actually.
Well, Apple is releasing, kind of like the movie Her. Apple is actually releasing Siri for the house.
That's the craziest.
So you're going to be able to have, like, I'm pretty sure it has to go into the iHome dock kind of thing with the.
Yeah. Right.
But, like, you can go around and
Have
be
your
like,
iPad
oh.
just sitting there telling you everything that's going on.
Yeah, like wake up and always like, what the do I gotta do?
Whoopsie.
What do I gotta? Oh, bleep that out.
Edit.
What do I gotta do today? I just tell you to list and like turn off the alarm and going back to bed. Like that would be kind of awesome, but also no one get anything done.
I like the traffic one because I travel into Boston a lot for work,
That's
for
what I
like
was
photo
thinking.
shoots. One of the last photo shoots that I was going into downtown, like financial district in Boston, I was on the Mass Pike and I was stuck in 2 hours of traffic between exit 8 and 9, and that's 15 miles of nothing, and stuck because the tractor trailer had overturned. And I could have gotten off at exit 8 and kind of just taken Route 20 and kind of hopped around it and gotten past it if I'd had something like that.
Right.
I was an hour late for my photo shoot.
Well, imagine if you had something like that, but then everyone else had something like that. Then everyone will be
dumping off. Yeah, I mean, it'll create more traffic and probably gridlock and whatnot. I mean, frankly, the Pike just needs to expand as far as I'm concerned. Because it happens all the time when I'm going into work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have long distance travel to and from work, but I never take 91 anymore because God knows what's happening. And if I could kind of see ahead of time, I would probably take, because it would be faster for me to go 91.
Right. And if it's clear, it's faster. But if there's one accident or the traffic's backed up,
Merging over the lane, yeah.
My girlfriend has the in-dash navigation. Last time we were in New York City for work, we were using back home, and they kept telling us, it automatically was rerouting us when traffic would start backing up the time.
Does she have satellite XM or? Because
I don't remember what it was.
I think they offer that. It was on my SUV, and then I got rid of XM and it disappeared. But I think it's part of like the satellite radio where
I just loved that.
Yeah.
Automatically rerouting us to the quickest route. I'm like, this is genius.
Yeah.
So that's what we need. That's what I want in my Kit car. I want it to talk to me. It needs to tell me I'm pretty.
You're always right.
Me too.
No, my husband. That's what he's for.
Next up, Big Y Education Express awards nearly $800,000 in education materials.
Wow.
If you're from Western Mass, you know what this is.
If you don't do it, just go do it.
I didn't know it was this much.
Yeah, they've really. So the numbers basically. So the education supplies that they raise $800,000 up to $800,000. It's not 800. It's right around there. 2,236 playground balls, 975 books, 372 calculators, 97 digital cameras, 59 computer tablets, 579 musical instruments, 13 packs of crayons, 2,523 reams of copier paper, and 27,128 pencils. It started in 1993, and they altogether are a little over $14 million in supplies to local schools. I mean, that's
It's awesome. We've been doing it since my daughter, who's a junior in high school, was in kindergarten. I first learned about it, and we signed right up. And it's easy. It's free. You go to the desk. They have the codes for
Yeah.
your kid's school right there. The only thing I wish was different is that you could pick. I have 3 kids in 3 different schools. I would love to be able to have all 3 schools
Yeah.
on the same account, and then just have it kind of dump it here, dump it here, dump it here, the credits. But honestly, it's so easy. The one thing you have to buy the thing that has the points on it, though. It's not for everything in the store.
Okay.
Yeah, it's specific items.
There's a little school bus. It has the points. It says
Yeah.
if it's worth 50 points or 100 points or whatever. But I mean, I guarantee you, my kid's playing one of those instruments that they got too. 'Cause
I mean, it's really, you're not doing anything extra. You're still buying. I mean, you don't have, if you want to go out of your way to
No, you don't have to have, you can just go up to the
service desk.
service desk and give a local school name, and then even if I don't have kids that are participating in that school.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but
You
it's
don't
not.
do that.
But it's not like you have to go and out of your way to buy. If you're already going grocery shopping
Right.
and you're shopping at Big Y and you register, you're good. Whatever you get run
Okay.
up, that's the
Exactly.
points, and that's it. I mean, so I mean, I think it's a great idea. I mean, for the amount of money they're putting back into our schools, I think that's.
I love Big Y. I think they're just so much more involved in the community.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that their
Because they are the
employees
community.
I was gonna say they're very
Right.
low because they're so local.
Yeah, their employees are a lot more friendly. I can see that they're giving jobs to people who need them and kids and showing them, employment opportunities at a young age. I love Big Y.
I like their
Yeah.
new ads actually. The My Big Y themed ads where they show like different kinds of people shopping in there. I
Yeah.
think it was really good.
The Big Y near me, the competition for jobs for the college students and even high school students, the same kids continually will come back for the same jobs. So
Oh, wow.
it's like you can't even get hired at the Big Y if you're new, until they age out of the job.
Yeah.
Basically.
Loves it, yeah.
Because they like it and it's a good place to work, and they're all young kids. They all do a good job. I mean, I think
Well,
it's
that
great.
goes on to like management and leadership, and them training the kids, and realizing that it is a part-time job. It is what it is, but if you put value into it, then you get something back. I mean,
Right.
from on the higher level of people, I don't really know of too many people that would work there and then leave. I think overall they good workplace from what I understand and know of.
Yeah.
So
I mean, from a grocery perspective, there isn't a whole lot of competition in Western Mass. So when you think about the one-stop shop, I mean, there's little competitors coming in like Aldi and things like that, but you can't really get all of your grocery shopping done in one place.
Yeah.
So I think it's a way for them to differentiate themselves. And again, just going back to that community feeling, like we were talking about with the news, people like that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been doing it for such a long time. This isn't new. It's not some marketing gimmick
Yeah.
or scheme.
Right.
It's literally their way to say, you shop with us, we're going to give
been
back to
12
the
years
community.
now. 12.
1993.
Yeah, so 11 years. I'm learning math. That's. But to close this out, my favorite thing is that they also bring in local vendors to distribute
Now,
their products.
1993, isn't that 21 years?
I was going to say it's a little more than that, yeah.
I need to go back
He
to
didn't
school.
quite know math.
Apparently, I
I'm
need
gonna
the
say-
pencil, I need the calculator, I need the book.
This is how you know they're friends. So I was like,
Do
So
you see how long it took me to actually figure it out?
just forget it. Karrie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. And we'll be right back. I actually took some time to sit with Sue Kaplan of Link to Libraries, and we'll get to find out about the events coming up on April 30th. And welcome back. I'm here with Sue Kaplan of Link to Libraries. Sue, thank you for inviting us into it's above Rediker software in
It
Wilbraham,
is.
right?
Yes.
Which has how many books do you have in here right now?
Well, right now, and we do an inventory, believe it or not, every June with our accountant from Myers Brothers. We have 32,000 new books and probably another 1,000 gently used books in storage. But don't be impressed with the books that are here. You want to realize that 1,800 books or more go out every single week at Link to Libraries.
So, what is Link to Libraries for people that don't know?
Link to Libraries is a nonprofit that distributes new and a few gently used books to underserved youth in public elementary schools and nonprofit organizations throughout Western Mass, Connecticut, New York, and Vermont.
Oh, wow. And how did Link to Libraries start?
My partner Janet Crimmins and I, we read an article that the White Street School in Springfield was having difficulty keeping their library open due to budget cuts, and also to the fact that their books were dog-eared and tired, and there wasn't much incentive for the boys and girls to go in there and take those books. So literacy was down. And so what we did is we emailed people that we knew, collected 65 new books in a short period of time, 11 days, and delivered them to the White Street School. And their response was so excited over 65 new books that we thought this is something we could do.
Now, you hold an annual event to help awareness and to, fundraiser to get more books to the schools and let people know. So what, tell us about the event. Tell that the Log Cabin.
Well, no,
Nope.
this we don't do a yearly event.
Oh, okay.
We do a biannual year event, so it's every 2 or 3 years. This year's event, like the last one in 2011,
Oh, it's 2
is
years. I thought that was like yesterday.
that's what people think, and people have been sending us emails all year asking when the next one is. Our events are really, our benefactor is Peter Ross Coffin and his team and partner Mick over at the Delaney House and Log Cabin. And this event, different from the 2011 event, is a journey to literacy. The people will go to the D Hotel. They will get a passport. There'll be jazz music there and hors d'oeuvres. They'll cross over and go into the entire Delaney House, which will be rooms of different countries. There'll be Asia, South America, France, United States, Ireland, and other countries. There'll be music in each room of that country, special foods of that country, specialty drinks of that country. There'll be a beer garden. There's musicians and artwork that is being done by the City of Springfield Boys and Girls, and City of Holyoke Boys and Girls are doing all the artwork, which is pottery and murals and life-size paper sculptures. They're doing all of that.
Wow.
And every room will have its own theme from the country, flags and music and dance and very fabulous food. I think it'll be a big hit.
I can't believe it was 2011, the last event, but that was a great turnout. And I think we had footage from the last time.
I think you did. We had 498 people there this year. Peter Ross Coffin has said to everybody and put on our invite that it'll be the best event he's ever done. And for Peter Ross Coffin to say that, it puts us all in awe. But I think there's also an ice bar that he's bringing in with our logo in lights inside the middle of the ice bar. I think people are going to be very, very surprised. And the ticket price is so small that it should be able to allow people from all walks of life to come, not just the CEOs. That's not what we want. We want the educators and the teachers and the custodians and lay people and community people to come out. And so these boys and girls get a treat, and they get to see their artwork, they get to meet the other students, and they get to be recognized by Link to Libraries and the Log Cabin and Delaney House people for the hard work and the wonderful donation that they're giving to us.
So outside of the event, outside of people, you also have opportunities for people to get involved and volunteer.
We love volunteers at Link to Libraries. We have 21 boys and girls ages 8 to 18 that volunteer with us on a monthly basis. They come in and they label every single book. I'll show you. Every book is labeled at Link to Libraries. And our boys and girls, what they do is they label the books. They make the labels. They run our website. They host the website. They pay for the website. So that's their involvement. And then we have adults. We have a large group of adult volunteers. And they come in and they assemble literacy book bags. They advise us as to what books we might suggest, because a lot of them are educators. They sit on our board, which is small, but they give us tremendous feedback. And they read to the community as well.
What is you said the students manage the website. What is the website so people want to get more information?
Well, that's a good point. www.link2libraries.org. We'd like you to go online and take a look at it. It's not filled with bells and whistles, because that's not what we are all about. But it's pretty significant. And when you realize it was originally formatted by a 12-and-a-half-year-old.
No way, I didn't know that. So if you want more information, again, go to linktolibraries.org.
Yes.
The event is April 30th. There's information on the event on the website, correct?
There is, and you can always email us at litlink, LITLINK, at hotmail.com, or you can just send in your $25 check with your name and address to Link to Libraries event, P.O. Box 958, West Springfield 01090.
Sue, thank you so much for letting
Thank
us
you.
come
It's
in.
always a pleasure. I watch your show, and I'm hoping others do as well.
I hope so too. And we'll be right back.
Thank you.